Are you ready? Welcome, everyone, to a very special meeting of the El Centro City Council for December the 3rd. First item on the agenda is roll call by our city clerk, please.
Councilmember Sanders.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Jackson.
Here.
Mayor Silva.
Present.
Councilmember Villegas Walker.
Here.
Councilmember Gardenas.
I'm going to ask Councilmember Sedelia Sanders to lead us in the pledge, and then Mayor Jerry Esqueda with the Salvation Army to lead us into invocation, please.
Ready? Begin.
Thank you, Mayor, City Councils, City Manager, and other dignitaries here. It's been a tough week. We've had tragedy right in our backyard, and I'd like to take a moment of silence to remember those that were affected by this, and family members, those that have died, those that are still trying to stay alive, and for us here in this city. So let's take a moment of silence and prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Father, we love you and we thank you. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our
Next item on the agenda, we're going to be recognizing an incredible lady that has been with the city now for close to 30 years, Sedelia, in different capacities, as an elected official for more than that. And I have to tell you, Sedelia, that I've really enjoyed working with you in the last 8 months, and I know some people have worked with you a lot, 8 years, a lot more than I have, but I want you to know that I think you are just an outstanding woman. You have left a footprint in the city of El Centro, making the city of El Centro a much better city because of the work that you've done throughout your career. And I'm so privileged to have worked with you and perhaps continue working with you, but you are really a testimony of what a first-class lady is, a first-class individual is, and we're going to miss you, but just a tremendous recognition for you, what you have done for the city of El Centro, and I know my colleagues in the council will be expressing their thoughts as well. And there's a lot of people here that I want to recognize. And being the mayor, I'm going to take the privilege of being the first one, Sedelia. So I'm going to read you a proclamation that we have for you, and then we're going to probably take a picture in the front. But to Sedelia Sanders, whereas Sedelia Sanders has served 2 tenures on the El Centro City Council from 1984 to 1999 and 2003 to 2015. And during those years, Sedelia was elected an unprecedented 5 times to serve as the mayor for the city of El Centro. And whereas Sedelia served on numerous boards and commissions, such as the El Centro Regional Medical Center Board of Trustees, the MLK Indoor Sports Pavilion Task Force, and the Imperial County Transportation Commission. And whereas Sedelia has been an important and valued resource to the Imperial Valley by serving as State League of California Cities President, Advisory Council member of the National League of Cities, the National League Board of Directors, and in addition was appointed by Governor Pete Wilson to
This is for me to keep, he says. I thought so.
Again, there are a number of people that have asked to some time to recognize Councilmember Sanders, but let me start with the council first. Mr. Cardenas?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and Ms. Sanders, I just want to say that your fingerprints are not only all over the city, but this county, but the state, but this country, because everywhere that I've traveled and I've mentioned your name to gain status, they've received me, they received me and given me the red carpet. I just want to thank you for the mentorship that you have given me these last 2 years. Every time I've had an opportunity to call you, you've responded and returned my calls immediately, and it's been very gracious to have this relationship with you, and I appreciate all the wisdom and guidance that you have given me. I am a better person today because of your support and your help, so I do want to thank you so much and wish you the very best in whatever the future holds. So I do have some roses for you, and with Mr. Sanders' permission, I don't know if he's here. Is Mr. Sanders here?
He may be outside.
Okay,
waiting to
so
get in.
hopefully I have his permission, but I would like to give you these dozen roses. So,
He's back there.
Mr. So, Mr. Sanders, if I have your permission, I'd like to give these roses to your lovely wife on behalf of my family. No, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to him. Now, I went ahead and left the price tag on too, so you know, all right? So,
Are they returnable?
thank you.
Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell a story that I don't think I've ever told Sedalia. That
Is it one that can be a
yeah,
mixed company?
it might. It's gonna be clean. I know
Okay.
everybody's wondering. So when I was about 14 or 15 years old, I was in Boy Scouts, and Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge needs a elected official to come and speak, and to the scout troop, and you were mayor back in that time, I think. I'm not exactly sure if I was 14 or 15, but you came and you spoke to my troop, and you were that elected official that spoke for our troop meeting. And I think it was at that point that I decided that I didn't exactly know what being mayor was, but I thought it was pretty cool and I wanted to be it. So at that point, I made it one of my lifelong dreams to do that. So I thank you for that moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so it's doubtful I'm going to get through this without crying. I've had the honor to serve with Sedalia for 18 years. And during that time, she has served with grace, with compassion, empathy, and I know that Mayor Silva talked about your imprint. We see the physical imprint and the physical manifestations of your leadership and the accomplishments. So we see that those of us that have lived in El Centro for a long, long time, think about a time when we didn't have the Imperial Valley Mall. Think about the time when we didn't have Fire Station 3, when we didn't have Target and everything there. All of the housing that has been added to this community. So we have the physical manifestations of your leadership. Martin Luther King Pavilion, I could go on and on. But I think, Sedalia, your even greater gift to all of us have been the number of lives that you have touched. And as has been mentioned, you've made us all better. You've made us all want to be better. And you are a rock star. I will fess up to being a name dropper as well. Been invited to some pretty cool parties at League of California Cities events because I know Sedalia Sanders. Yeah. But I know, Sedalia, that we've talked and that this is just another chapter, that you still have so much to give, and I have the I do have the opportunity to continue to work with you in your role, the Area Agency on Aging, on the Advisory Council. Sedalia's name has also been put in nomination to serve on the statewide Commission on Aging. So we know that you will continue to influence and touch lives for years and years to come. You've been my mentor, you've been my friend, and I cannot imagine, I cannot think of an elected official who has had a greater influence on their community for the betterment of all of us. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Sanders, there's a number of people here in the audience that have asked for some time to recognize you, and let me start calling those people. I know Senator Hueso's office is here, and Hector, did you want to start?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Hector Araujo. I represent State Senator Ben Hueso, and I'm also here tonight to represent Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia. Our state leaders want to recognize a wonderful woman, Ms. Sedalia Sanders, for her tributes for everything she's contributed to this community, to the valley, to the city, and to everybody else on council. Everybody here has something to learn from you. Every conversation I've ever had with you, I've always walked away just thinking, wow, this lady knows a lot. You just astounded me. I mean, so you really still do have a lot to give. I'm sure you'll be around, maybe in the background, but you'll be around helping out your peers. And our state leaders would like to recognize you with a couple certificates of recognition for your efforts and to thank you for everything you've done for the community.
Thank you. I just pass them to the city clerk, and she will share them here. Would you do that? Thank you, sir.
I know also we have a representative from SCAG, Mr. Oliva, that is, there you go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, my name is Tomas Oliva. I'm here representing the Southern California Association of Governments. On behalf of SCAG, Mrs. Sanders, I'd like to present to you this proclamation honoring your years of service and dedication to the city of El Centro, the region of Imperial County, to the state. I go ahead and read just several paragraphs, if you would allow me to, please. Whereas Sedalia L. Sanders has a recognized record of leadership and community service as a public servant committed to social justice, improving the quality of life for residents, and promoting sustainability for the city of El Centro and Imperial County. Whereas Ms. Sanders, as a member of El Centro City Council and Imperial County Transportation Commission, worked with her colleagues throughout Imperial County to secure $50 million in transportation funds for the completion of the Brawley Bypass, a major regional transportation project that improved goods movement and transportation in Imperial County. So now therefore be it proclaimed that the Regional Council and staff of the Southern California Association of Governments hereby recognize and thank Sedalia L. Sanders for her dedicated public service and does hereby to Sedalia L. Sanders best wishes for good health and continued success in her future endeavors and pursuits. So on behalf of SCAG, and if I could be allowed to break character just for a second and take my SCAG hat off, I would like to echo some sentiments mentioned by Councilman Cardenas and the rest of the council in that you've been a council member since I was born. And I say that. No, I say that. I say that to show and out of all affection, because I want people to know that. You have been the council member that I have known for my entire life. And you have given so much to this community. I remember growing up here, and it's not just a story, but we didn't have the mall, as Councilmember Rochelle Walker, Villegas Walker mentioned, and when we only had one high school, right? And so you have been not just a council member, but the council member for me and many alike. So I want to thank you for everything that you've done. For us in this community, for the state. Everywhere I've traveled, whether it be Sacramento, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, there's always somebody that knows you and speaks very highly of you. You're very classy, and I appreciate everything that you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, someone asked me to be last, so before I call on that person, is anybody else that wishes to come in and provide any comments to Ms. Sanders? Seeing none, I'm going to call, oh, there you go. Mr. Kuiper. Of course, Mr. Kuiper.
Never turn down a mic.
I'm not running again, though. And I'm a tearful person, too. Sedalia knows this. Every time I was installed as something, Jack Dunham would say, Hank's going to cry.
Yes, he did. And yes, you did.
And I'll do it again. I'll do it again because in November of 1985, I won the election, and so did you. So I want to thank you for all the years of service myself, and sitting next to you was an honor.
Thank you.
And we got a new mayor coming in, and I want to congratulate him while I'm coming in here too, but I love you, girl.
Thank
Okay.
you very much, Hank. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Now let me call on the person that asked to be last.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me the opportunity to provide a small thank you from the Community Services Department to a great woman, Councilmember Sanders. I just want to express our appreciation on behalf of the Community Services Department, which, as you well know, is made up of Economic Development, Parks and Recreation, and the Library. And just to say thank you for the support you have given us throughout the years. You have been with us, obviously, as part of our monthly business visits that we do with our community. You worked hand in hand with us when we were working on our Project Shape downtown plan. And of course, in terms of recreation, I'm just going to name a few, but obviously you have placed your mark in different projects, working with us for the sports pavilion, and of course, going to Sacramento and fighting for those funds to have our aquatic center. So on behalf of our Community Services Department, we would like to present you as a thank you this so you can remember us for all the impact that you have caused in this community and for working very, very hard in providing a good quality of life for this community. Thank you, Sedalia.
Ms. Sanders, you have the floor.
You know, excuse me. My mascara is running. One could not have achieved the success that I've had without the support of this community. My family have been extremely supportive. I listen to individuals say that they've known no other mayor because they were born the year I started. I hear individuals say that I spoke to their Boy Scout troop when they were just a mere boy, now a man. I look among the crowd and I see friendly faces. And all of you have made such a significant point in my life to allow me to serve you for this number of years. It's been a real joy. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my family, my husband, who is back there somewhere in the crowd. My husband stands a little short, but he's tall when it comes in support of me. And no one can fill his shoes. Excuse me, please. If Hank and Cheryl had not cried, I would be all right. I'm from a family of 9, of the oldest of 9. My parents were extremely hardworking individuals in this community. They were pioneers. I'm a second generation El Centro. So I have deep roots in this community, and that's why when it came time to be of service, I availed myself. So over my head, I can hear music. So I know there's a God somewhere. And it's through His grace that I've been allowed to do the work that I've done. So to all of you, I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now that I have this chair warmed up for Mr. Garcia, I want him to know that I'm doing one final thing as an act of member of the Board of Directors for the California League of Cities. I'm providing you at this dais open and public meeting law, Ralph M. Brown Act. So you will have your very own personalized copy. I will leave it here for you, and so I trust that you will use it in the same fashion that I did. You will gain great knowledge from working with the people that I'm sitting here currently with. And as you make the decisions that are important for this city, keep in mind that you are a representative of the entire city. The entire city. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will step back into private life. I will turn the page, open up a new chapter. And then if things go well, I shall see you again. God bless you all.
We need a motion.
Okay,
Stay.
Are you mystified?
yeah. They
Behind
say
door number
stay.
one.
You know, it's like you're training someone, stay.
Sedelia, we have our last surprise for you, but before you leave, I'd
It's a
like,
new car.
in recognition of all the work that you've done for the city of El Centro, I'd like to ask the council for a motion to name the conference room in the adult center as the Sedelia Sanders Conference Room in recognition for all that you've done for the city of El Centro.
So moved.
Second.
I really am, oh, gosh. The mascara is, I don't know if I look like Halloween up here or not. Someone came into the room and said, "You're looking rather nice." Well, now that I've been crying, I'm not sure if that nice look is still available. But thank you. Whenever you're at a loss for words, and you really don't know what to say, the simple phrase, "thank you," says it best. So, thank you. Mr. Garcia.
Not yet, not yet.
But I want him to know that I'm going to leave this here, and then at the end of whenever I wanted to thank, I wanted to thank Mr. Jackson for inviting me to the dinner tonight.
Absolutely.
I have the roses, and I'll soon have wine, so everything will be wonderful.
All is good.
Wine and
Yeah,
roses.
she's gonna have to chip in.
Okay, so
Can I
let's,
get up? I mean, isn't it time for me to?
not yet, Ms. Sanders.
not
You
yet,
got
okay.
a few more minutes.
I showered. You trying to get away from me?
You know, maybe they have another gift. Okay.
Recognition of outgoing mayor, that would be me. Let me start by thanking everyone on the council, Ms. Sanders, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Walker, Mr. Cardenas, for allowing me to be your mayor for the year 2015. It has really been an honor and a privilege to do so. I also want to thank the staff, starting from our city manager, our city attorney, our city clerk, for the amazing job that you all have done this year. To everyone else that works for the City of El Centro, from department heads to every other city employee, thank you for making the City of El Centro the great city that it is. At the beginning of my term as the mayor and with the support of the council, we established 3 initiatives. With your help, I'm happy to report that they all have been completed. We have a sisterhood agreement with Mexicali, in which I hope that our incoming mayor continues to nourish that relationship with our brothers and sisters from Mexicali. We met with business developers and business people to find ways to make the City of El Centro more business-friendly and energize the development of housing development in the City of El Centro. We have accomplished that as well. Staff has brought and will continue to bring some modifications to our ordinances, our business structure, and our practices to facilitate and promote development in the City of El Centro. And finally, 2 days ago, we adopted the El Centro Vision 2050, which sets the blueprint for El Centro for the next 35 years. The plan includes a work plan to ensure that every year we move forward towards the fulfillment of this vision. Thanks to everyone that has helped in this process. I also want to thank the citizens of El Centro for bringing me back to the council. I look forward to working with Mr. Jackson as our new mayor and Mr. Garcia as our council member to continue the progressive path we have set to continue to have to be, for the City of El Centro to be the model city that it is. I could not, however, neglect to mention and acknowledge the unconditional support of my family and particularly my wife, Marcela. Not only was she my campaign manager, she was and continues to be the cornerstone of my life, and I would not be here without her help, her support, and her love. So I have something for her as well.
We're naming a conference room.
Yeah, I know. Hey, the roses.
One of those gift exchange things where he takes the Delia's roses and gives.
Hey, where's it going? It's a new car. Huh?
Oh.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, according to the agenda, you have something for me.
I do. Well,
This is kind of looking like we're the only ones not getting any gang.
I'd like to start off by saying it's been a pleasure serving as your mayor pro tem over the last year. I think we've certainly worked together as a team, and we've accomplished so much over the last 12 months. And it's you've led our city in a direction that's been nothing but positive. The initiatives that you brought forth to this city, and us as all of your colleagues work together to accomplish, I think is a sign of your leadership over the last 12 months. And all I can say is that thank you for being our mayor. Thank you for allowing me to be your mayor pro tem and assisting you wherever I needed to be. And on behalf of myself and the rest of my colleagues, I'd like to present you with your mayor's gavel.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, for this.
Oh, okay. Do you have?
Oh, it's our turn.
Oh, okay, so You've probably heard this line before. It was the best of times, worst of times. This was an amazing year. The mayor set out with 3 very ambitious goals. I think we all kind of held our breath for a minute there, said, wow. But with your leadership, Mr. Silva, that's come together. The Vision 2050 is an amazing document. We're celebrating the imprint that Ms. Sanders has left on the city for the last several years, and that the 2015 visioning statement, the document, sets forth the vision for the next. And so I commend you for your leadership. I also just could not help but mention that you were absolutely grace under pressure earlier this year with regard to the very, very difficult and challenging meetings that we had in connection with the Planned Parenthood issue that we faced. You did it with grace and style, and we thank you for that. And I look forward to serving with you for the next 4 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Walker.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, again, just to echo Councilmember Walker Villegas' comments, it was an incredible year. I'm so impressed with that Vision 2050. I show it off everywhere I go, and it is just an amazing accomplishment, and I'm just fortunate to be a part of that. And I've learned so much this year as well under your leadership, and again, looking forward to serving with you these next 2 years, and we have a lot to work to accomplish, and so again, I congratulate you. Congratulate your wife and having an excellent support system. And thank you, sir, for serving as our mayor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cardenas. Ms. Sanders?
Yes, I would, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to, first I would like to commend you on your outstanding reelection, and also commend Mr. Jackson on the reelection. I'd like to extend the same type of commendations to all of the candidates who chose to avail themselves to run. It's not an easy task to put yourself forward, to run, and sometimes take some hits and maybe get beat up a little bit. But it's wonderful to know that this city still have people willing to exercise that option and then put themselves forward so they could be leaders of this community. I want to congratulate Mr. Garcia on his outstanding efforts as well. So as we move forward into the next 4 years, 2 years, 4 years, and then ultimately maybe 30, I think that some of you will certainly exceed all of the things that I have accomplished. I have no doubt that you have that talent, you have the will, and so I'm looking forward to great things from this council. Since this is my home, I really know that you will put forth your best effort, your best energy, and to ensure that El Centro will continue on the growth pattern. Personally, Mr. Silva, I just want to say thank you for your service. As the mayor, it was a difficult time. First 5 months was extremely difficult. But you know, that's behind us now. And so now we look forward. That was yesterday. We look forward. As I step back again into private life, if I leave a legacy, it will become history. I turn the page and face the future. I believe the sun will always be in my face and the wind will always be at my back. And my husband has assured me that I'll always have a coin in my pocket. So with that in mind, I have a future that I think will be bright. And I wish the same for you. I want to commend all of the staff that have worked with me over these years. If you don't mind me just expanding a little bit. All the staff that have worked with me, some of my former colleagues, I see here Mr. Kuiper and others that have worked with me over the years. I just hope that each of you be as kind to each other as you've been to me. And if that's the case, this city is headed for great success. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sanders. Mr. Duran.
I've been in this profession for 35 years, and this organization operates the way the texts say it's supposed to operate. It's not that everyone agrees with everything, but there is dialogue, there is decision, there is serious contemplation for the city. And I've given presentations at UCSD and actually Arizona State University and other places. This is how cities are supposed to work. And this handoff today is exactly another example of that. So as we go through and we look, and all you have to do is read the papers on the coast, on the East Coast, West Coast. This is an example of how things are supposed to work for a community. And this is the government that communities want. And I commend all of you. And also the individuals that ran and put themselves out in commissions and committees. This is the way this country's supposed to work. So I thank all of you. I really do thank all of you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with that, this we have committed to keeping. These are the publications that occurred during the mayor's year. And we've committed to keeping it down to one binder. But we also committed not to put it on a flash drive. So Mayor, thank you for taking this. I did want to make a comment, but this is, and I think you'll find, you have other binders.
I do.
And this will be a compliment to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's not a current issue.
Yes, it is.
Stop it.
I know that Senator West's office also wanted to present something, Hector, as well as the Chamber of Commerce.
Work this out.
Council, it's me again.
Afterwards.
Efrain, you've been a true leader, and I'm sure you will continue to be a true leader. Senator Hueso and Assemblyman Garcia asked me to read a few words to you. I'll be very brief. In recognition of your support to the residents of El Centro, for serving the city as a council member since 2007, and for your outstanding commitment to ensuring continued excellence, on behalf of the California State Senate, I'm honored to recognize your efforts and loyal services to the city of El Centro, the county of Imperial, and the state of California. I also want to congratulate Mayor Jackson and Councilman Garcia. I'm sure they'll be true leaders as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Hector.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Tyler.
Mayor Silva, I'm very pleased to have the honor to represent the business community as president of the Chamber of Commerce to thank you for your year as mayor. Your time that you've spent with the business community has been very much appreciated. Your time prior to your term as mayor, when you were mayor pro tem, when you come to our board meetings, were greatly appreciated. And I just want to thank you for your service. And we have a small token of our appreciation. And thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tyler. Okay, for the next portion of the meeting, I'm going to turn the gavel over to our city clerk.
Can we please have Mayor Silva, come up, please? Mr. Jackson, for the administration of oath. Mr. Garcia, please meet him at the podium, please. When I say begin, if you could each raise your right hands and say aye and your name, please. Begin. Mr.
I, Edgar Garcia,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will defend and support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Okay, congratulations.
Either way, you can go ahead, whatever you find most convenient.
It would be easier.
It might be out there, around the side, around the side door. That's less of a crowd. How about, don't make tour at 9, 9:30. Yeah, whatever. That's why don't make it, yes, we'll go away. That's why what we'll do is work out the same. On the agenda, you'll be here. Say, great, this afternoon, I'll do the briefing. You just, I can deal with the curveball. Gotta choke up a little more. Well, tomorrow.
Let's adjourn back at the city council, and again, I'm going to turn the gavel over to our city clerk, please.
At this time, nominations are now open for mayor.
City clerk, I'd like to nominate Mr. Jason Jackson as mayor for 2016.
Can we think about that for a minute?
Yeah.
Pause.
I'd like to second that motion, please.
I have a motion by Mr. Silva and a second by Ms. Villegas Walker. Please ballot. All in favor?
All in favor, please say aye.
Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0.
Is this where I take it?
You take over now.
Oh, wow, it's all mine now.
We're hungry though, okay, so.
Okay, well, let's, at this time, let's open nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion to nominate Mr. Alex Cardenas.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Walker, second by Mr. Silva. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No. Are we pausing?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I guess this is my time to to say a couple words real quick, and they are real quick because I know everybody is hungry, including myself. I wrote this down because probably a little bit like Hank and Cheryl, and then having Sedalia sitting next to me, I'm going to try not to get emotional about this. So I figured the best way to do it. What's that?
Don't lose your makeup.
Yeah. I didn't put any mascara on, so I'm good. This has been an incredible journey, and there's so many people that have helped guide me along the way. I want to specifically thank a circle of friends that have been with me through the ups and downs and always have believed in me and my abilities. I probably can't and shouldn't try to name everybody in this category because I'd surely leave somebody out. But I do want to name a few of my closest friends, supporters, and mentors. And hopefully they can hear me outside because I know that they're outside right now. But I want to first start with Chris Machado and Ralph Figueroa, who have dug probably more holes in the city of El Centro for me and put up more signs than anybody else over the last 5 campaigns that I've run. And yes, that's 5 campaigns. The first 3 fell a little short. And yes, it's true that by the 4th time, I think Ralph and Chris both had ski masks and paper bags over their heads, but nonetheless, they were always there for me, and they are here again for me tonight as they're outside preparing a wonderful tri-tip dinner for all of us to enjoy. I also want to thank Sharon Hausauer, Lynn Hausauer, Angie Flores. Stop, don't do that. Jill Cincinnelli, Greg Bruns, Betty Tucker, Robin Mary Zimmer, Bobby Doobie, for organizing and helping me with precinct walks and fundraisers and basically anything I ever needed. And then I have a couple of mentors that I want to mention that have been great sounding boards for me and have worked to keep me grounded over the last 4 years and before that. Hank Kuiper has been there from the beginning, and I thank you for everything you've done. And it's not a good way to start out as mayor, but also a good friend of mine wasn't able to make the trip today, but Glenn Miller. He's a council member in the city of Indio, and last night was sworn in as mayor of Indio. And I'm going to enjoy this next year serving as mayor, and he has as well another great friend and great mentor and somebody I look up to. I also want to thank that the best employees that any city could ever have. We have some great staff, from our department heads and staff led by our city manager, who always strive to make our city a better place to live and are always ready to serve all of our crazy ideas as council members. A very special thanks to Liz and her staff, Amy and Clara, because as you saw outside, they've done an amazing job of setting this up for us tonight. Also, Mike and Gabe and the rest of the guys at the maintenance department. I mean, they've been at this thing all day, and I think they actually started yesterday, so I thank you guys. Also want to thank, it's always nice when you can maybe be that person that kind of brings some youth involved into the political system. And I was fortunate to have 3 very special young ladies, recent graduates of Central High School, Jeanette Pena, Jessica Pena, and Carla Pacheco, that worked on my campaign and put hours and hours and hours into phone banking and helping me on my campaign. And it's good to see young people get involved, and I'm very proud of my campaign that I was able to get some youth involved with it. And hopefully they'll continue being involved in their city and beyond. So then, they always say that for every good man, there's even better woman behind that person. And I'm blessed to say that I have two of those women behind me. So one is my girlfriend Sandra and my mom Carolyn. And so if you'll indulge me in just a second, I want to make a quick little presentation to both of them.
Like the person on The Price is Right that keeps spinning the wheel, and then getting it.
Okay. So I made a short little paragraph after this so I could get through this. Finally, I'd be remiss in not thanking my colleagues for bestowing this great honor of representing them as mayor. It sounds a little strange, but to date fulfills a long dream of mine, as I kind of tried to talk about with Sedalia, but I knew I wouldn't get through it. But this all started probably 25 plus years ago, that when Sedalia was at my Boy Scout meeting, and I decided that this is what I wanted to do and give back to my community. So it's a great honor to be the mayor of the city that I was born, raised, and educated in, and just recently began my own business in. And my promise to my colleagues is that I will lead our city forward. I will represent us with dignity, integrity, and transparency. And together, we're going to have an amazing year, and El Centro is going to be better for it. The five of us are going to do amazing things over the next 12 months. And with that, if there's if we want to open up, Mr. Garcia.
Well, I'd like to start off by thanking our new mayor, Jason Jackson, and congratulating our mayor pro tem, Alex Cardenas. I'm confident that the five of us can do really good things for the city. I'd like to thank everybody that supported me during the campaign. I'm anxious and eager to work hard to represent the citizens of all of El Centro, as Ms. Sanders said. Mrs. Sanders, again, I'd like to basically just thank her for all the years of her service. She did such a great job, and she has been a cornerstone for El Centro for so long, and she has definitely earned every accolade that she has ever been given. And I hope that I can work hard and just put a little bit of effort to step in that place. I know it's going to be very difficult, but I'm ready and eager to do that work. So again, I'd like to thank all of my supporters and everybody who helped me, all of my friends. The campaign was a difficult one. It was my first campaign, so it was definitely a learning experience. I'd like to thank, last but certainly not least, my wife, who put up with me during the campaign, as I'm sure everybody sitting up here knows, that the significant other definitely takes the brunt of the work. She was my campaign manager, and she definitely helped a lot throughout the process. And I'd like to thank my three little boys who were there with me, holding up signs and walking neighborhoods with me. They definitely put the work in. They thought they were trick-or-treating, but it's okay. They still managed to get some candy. I don't know how they pulled that off, but that was definitely a special experience for me, and I definitely won't forget it. I'd like to thank everybody on the city council. I didn't get the memo that we were all going to bring flowers, so now I know that I'm going to get in trouble tonight, but that's okay. It's been a very lovely ceremony, and I'm looking forward to getting started and doing some work. So thank you very much.
supposed to stand on something? Selfie? Here we go.
Okay, well, with that, I'd like to officially adjourn this meeting, and please join the rest of the council and myself outside. We've got a great dinner and music and adult beverages, so thank you very much.
Off to the races, is back.
All right, man. Let's go party. Let's go party. Of all of us or just of all of us?